What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about this upcoming NFL draft and why the Atlanta Falcons should select Kyle Pitts with that number 4 pick in this upcoming NFL draft. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for continuing to tune into the channel. Please hit that like button if you enjoy my content. But with that being said, if you would like to follow your boy on Twitter, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So first off, the NFL draft is right around the corner. I believe we're about a week away. The draft is next Thursday. I'm really excited to see what our Falcons decide to do with that number 4 pick and what we decide to do with the remaining 8 picks that we have in the draft. I believe we have a total of 9 picks right now heading into this 2021 NFL draft. So I'm extremely excited to see what direction our Atlanta Falcons decide to go in. Personally, if I were the GM of the Atlanta Falcons, I would stand pat at number 4. I would select Kyle Pitts with that number 4 pick, the tight end out of the University of Florida. I believe this guy is a generational talent. I believe he's possibly the best player in this NFL draft, including the quarterbacks. And I believe another reason the Falcons should select him with that 4th pick is because he'll be a player that can come in and impact our Atlanta Falcons from day one. I believe if you take a guy like Kyle Pitts, he's a guy that can come in and take that starting tight end role. Now, Hayden Hurst may have something to say about that, but I do believe that Kyle Pitts is a guy, like I said, that's a generational talent, a guy just like a guy like Megatron, Calvin Johnson, guys like DK Metcalf. He's just guys like Julio Jones. He's a guy just is a freak of nature, 6'6", 245 pounds, a guy that can run a 4.4, 40. A guy that has extremely long arms, great vertical leap, a great route runner. He pretty much has no weaknesses in this game. Also, as a guy who can also block. I've been hearing a lot of people saying that Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver and that he can't block. I do believe that Kyle Pitts is a guy also that you can use in blocking situations in 12 personnel. I do believe that he will be a great fit for our Atlanta Falcons, being that Arthur Smith is a guy that loves to run 12 personnel, which is 2 tight end sets and 1 running back. I do believe that the Falcons, I do believe that Kyle Pitts will be a guy that fits Arthur Smith. He fits Arthur Smith's scheme perfectly. And I believe that you would get the most value out of taking a guy like Kyle Pitts. I know early on in the the pre-draft workup, I was one of the guys kind of stating that I would like the Falcons to trade back. But now that, the rubber is about to meet the road, I really feel like the Falcons should just go ahead and take Kyle Pitts with the 4th pick. I wouldn't mind the Falcons trading back, but my biggest fear of us trading back is us not selecting the right players and not being able to get players that can come in and help this team immediately. Being that the Falcons are not in rebuild mode and we're just in reload mode, I believe that our best bet right now will be going with a guy like Kyle Pitts who can come in immediately and help this team. I feel like if you trade back and you take a defensive player, maybe one of the edge rushers, those guys are going to need a couple years to develop. They're not going to possibly be able to come in, year one and be the best edge rusher or be, an impact player on this team. Now, skill position players like Calvin Ridley, if you remember a couple years ago, guys like Julio Jones when he first came in, guys like even Todd Gurley when he first came in with the LA Rams. Usually skill position players like running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, they usually are able to come in from day one, especially if they're generational type players. They're able to come in from day one and help your team be successful, come in and hit the ground running. If you remember a couple years ago, when Calvin Ridley came into the league about 3 years ago for our Atlanta Falcons, he was able to come in, year one and give us almost 1,000 yards receiving. And I feel like a guy like Kyle Pitts will be able to do the same. If you bring in a guy, like if you remember when we brought in guys like Vic Beasley, Tat McKinley, those guys were not able to come in year one and help our team win. They were guys that were developmental players, just like a lot of these defensive edge rushers that are in this draft, guys like Kwity Paye, guys like Greg Rousseau. These are guys that's going to need a couple years to come in and be impact players. I don't believe these guys are going to be players that can come in day one and give you a 10-sack season, or even give you maybe a 7 to 8 sack season. These guys are going to need time to develop. So I really feel like a guy like Kyle Pitts, for to get the most bang for your buck or to get the most value, I feel like taking a guy like Kyle Pitts would be the best bet if you're going to take a player at 4. Taking a quarterback in this situation, to me, just doesn't make sense, for the mere fact that that player is not going to be able to make the team better coming in day one. Being that we signed or extended Matt Ryan for the next 2 seasons, and it's basically impossible to cut him at this point without having a huge dead cap hit, it's not worth bringing in a quarterback at this time. I do believe you can bring in a quarterback later on in the draft, a guy like Kellen Mond or a guy like Kyle Trask. It's a lot of guys later on in the draft that you may be able to develop. Personally, I'm a Kellen Mond guy. If you're going to take a guy maybe in the 3rd or 4th round, maybe you can go with a guy like Kellen Mond who can develop under Matt Ryan and possibly be the starter for years to come. But right now, I feel like if you're going to get the most bang for your buck at that 4th position, I feel like take Kyle Pitts, a can't-miss prospect, a guy that's going to be able to come in year one, hit the ground running, and give us, that red zone presence, give us the mismatch problems that he's going to create for defenses. He's only going to make players around him better, like Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, because now these guys are freed up on the outside with him man in the middle, him controlling the middle of the field and being that mismatch problem. You can't double team everybody, and teams are going to have a hard time, playing, being able to scheme defenses against us, because they're going to have to play us straight up because we have so many weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Another reason I think that it's important that we take Kyle Pitts with this pick is because Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, they don't have a ton of years left in their prime. I feel like Julio Jones may have 2 or 3 years maybe left in his prime because he's at the age of 30 now. Matt Ryan is age 36, so he may have, a good 2 to 3 years left of being able to pass for over 4,000 yards consecutively, and we may have to turn to being a run-dominant team and a play-action dominant team. So I really feel like if you can get Matt Ryan help and bring in another huge impact X-Factor type player like a Kyle Pitts for the back end of Matt Ryan's career, that's only going to help Matt Ryan, giving him that security blanket, a guy across the middle of the field that's a mismatch problem, a guy in the red zone that's a big target where Matt Ryan will be able to, score touchdowns in the red zone. He'll be able to move the chains on 3rd downs. So Kyle Pitts is just one of those guys, like, I feel that you can't lose if you select him. Even if he comes in and he doesn't set the world on fire immediately, he's still going to be a distraction, a guy that's going to be a mismatch problem where you're going to free up guys like Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, and even free up guys in the backfield like Mike Davis and guys like Cordero Patterson. So I definitely feel like with this 4th pick, it's really right now quality over quantity. You can either trade back and get the quantity, or you can take Kyle Pitts, who's the luxury pick, the quality pick, the guy that is a can't miss prospect at this point. I feel like if you go with him, you can't miss on this guy, being that he's one of the guys that's that hybrid style wide receiver, tight end, and that's where the game is heading. If you look at all of the teams that have dominant tight ends, the George Kittles of the world with the San Francisco 49ers, the Travis Kelce's of the world, the Zach Ertz of the world with the Philadelphia Eagles. The league is heading in this the passing league style, open it up, spread out offense. So I really feel like having a guy like Kyle Pitts would be the trump card. He would be that guy where no one's going to be able to match up with him one-on-one. And it's just going to create matchup nightmares because not only is he a guy that can play on the inside of that tight end position, but he's also a guy that can play on the outside at the wide receiver position. So if you happen to take a guy like Ridley, put him in the slot, and put Julio Jones on one side of the field on the outside and Kyle Pitts on the other side on the outside, how do you defend that in the red zone when you have two guys that you can throw a fade pattern to? They're just basically mismatched problems. You can't double team Julio and you can't double team Kyle Pitts at the same time. And then we all know that no one can cover Calvin Ridley man-to-man in man-to-man coverage because he's a great route runner. So I really feel like it's a can't-miss prospect with Kyle Pitts. I would take him at that fourth position, and then the remainder of the draft, maybe with the second pick, you go defense, you take that edge rusher, or you take that nose tackle, or maybe you take even an offensive lineman with that second pick, and then you just go from there. But I basically feel like it's a no-brainer at this point. Kyle Pitts is to me the best draft prospect for us at that fourth pick, being that we're not in the first, the number one slot where we can take the best quarterback available, which in this case is Trevor Lawrence. Being that we can't take Trevor Lawrence in this draft, I feel like it's a no-brainer to take Kyle Pitts. Like I was saying before, I wouldn't trade back at this point because if you decide to trade back, you will get the quantity, but it's no guarantee that the guys that you take, if we were to take one of these edge rushers with that first pick, if we decide to trade back, there's no guarantee that that guy's going to pan out and be able to help us right away. Most likely, whoever the edge rusher we bring in is possibly going to be an experiment, a guy that you're going to have to work with for the next couple years to get them up to speed. Kyle Pitts is an all-pro. Day one, you drop him in the offense, he gets you almost 1,000 yards, 10-plus touchdowns easily. So I definitely think it's a no-brainer. The Atlanta Falcons definitely should go ahead and take Kyle Pitts. You guys let me know what you think of the comments. I'll have a lot more coming for you guys. I'm also thinking about going live in the next couple days. So you guys let me know about what you think about me going live in the next couple days. What topics should I talk about? Because I definitely want to go live and talk about some other picks in this draft and not just this number 4 slot. We've been focusing a lot on this number 4 slot. But I just wanted to get this quick video. Well, I don't know how quick it is, but get this video in about Kyle Pitts. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Please hit that subscribe button for your boy if you enjoy this content. I'll have a lot more coming for you guys. And as always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace and love.